finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs.
It got his man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Henry Ruggs,
his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
This taken in at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more.
And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play calling.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go option to the short side. They'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down.
A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. It was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Well, here we go on the next drive for Washington.
And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of the team, though, doesn't it?
Blitz coming, and down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
You call plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Now Stewart, second down. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for third down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on second down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on third and long.
He couldn't get away there on third down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And taken at the 46. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Tua. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Hands it off out of the gun. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after him. Put the
and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on.
Well, I'll say one thing, Charles. You're getting really good practice here breaking down touchdowns. What did you see there?
Well, the same thing I've seen over and over and over in this first half. My scintillating analysis, Brandon, this offense is absolutely taking no prisoners.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense.
There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Stewart looking to throw on 2nd down. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Open man is Jordan, the tight end.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Again, he'll drop to throw. And Stewart lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
He
was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
Following the fumble recovery, here's Tua. Tua hit, and the ball is out. And it's Washington that scoops it up. Here's the Dolphins defense as they head out to set up shop. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Force the fumble last. Time. Now 2 turnovers that they forced here in this first half, Charles.
And this defense has set the tone for the game. Taking it away twice here in the first half of the game, that's going to make the offense so uncomfortable the rest of the game and really make them focus on ball security. Sometimes that cuts down your ability to make big plays.
The offense will try to prove you wrong here. They'll try to find that comfort. This is Miller, complete. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. McPherson's kick is good. And get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown. Henry Ruggs in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead will swell by 1 more. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. 1 play, 75 yards, 6 points. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. Taking it about the 1. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin in the birthplace of rock and roll, Memphis, Tennessee. And it's the Colts who have the lead in the second quarter. Daniel Jones, 2 touchdown passes thus far. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. Alvin Kamara, 89 yards rushing there. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they were winners in their ball game as they were able to handle the visiting New York Jets. Mac Jones, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half?
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Taking it about the 1. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnover.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Dolphins. Henry Ruggs with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. But with that touchdown pass, I'm going to bring up a point from earlier in the year. Some of the fans were saying, when do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up because I'm not the head coach. Okay, so he's got to deal with it. But I think it's a legitimate question. With the way their season is going, I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. First possession of the second half now for Washington. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Stewart throwing on first down. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off near the 32. But he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. And the Washington offense going back to work. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
He'll decide to keep this once more. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Stewart now to throw on 3rd down. Flush to his right. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
Taken from just outside the 30. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Henry Ruggs with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Dolphins get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You can see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw a touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One-play drive and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
And the Washington offense heading out.
They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Back to throw. Stewart. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked up by Javon Holland.
And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
And down inside the 15 he goes. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
From the 5, here's 2nd and 2.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The Dolphins defense, they get set to go here. At 4 takeaways now. Last one, the interception on that previous drive.
Okay, work with me on this one because I think we've got to do the highlight video at the end of the season. Can you imagine putting this together? The high energy, the impact, all these takeaways cut into one sequence? I think they'll love seeing that on the big screen.
We'll let you do the highlight video. We'll see if they're going to try to get another highlight here on this defensive stand. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Looking to throw. Stewart. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And showcasing those strong legs on that run, getting through one tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On second down, here's Gibson again. Gets past one man, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. 51 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. From the gun, Stewart. Escaping and Stewart lost the football. It's loose. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold onto the football while being jostled?
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. That's going to set them back 5 yards. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Back to throw. Stewart. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And out come the Dolphins now. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown. Henry runs his 25th touchdown. Tying him and Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on.
Remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
And 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is Just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. Looking to throw. Stewart. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. 35 yards that time on the punt. Miami's offense set and ready to go. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they...
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle, 59 yards. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense set to take over again. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
To throw is Stewart. To throw on 2nd down. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Back to throw. Stewart sliding out of the pocket. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. Washington going to send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. Oh, what a move. So possession goes over here on the punt. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They run the counter. Mullins. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got this down to the 35. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Second down at 4. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
On this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got the first down inside the 10. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. 50 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the year, his 5th overall. And the Dolphins are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead. So definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. 4 touchdown passes. They're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, 4th quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Now Stewart on 1st and 10. And Stewart lost the football. It's loose. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10.
Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Complete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. Stewart. And Stewart lost the football. It's loose. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now fourth down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Richardson. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Henry runs. His 26th touchdown. Drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. Fielded just outside the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Washington offense back out there. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Here's Stewart on 1st down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Stewart throwing on 1st down. He'll buy some time, and he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Looking to throw. Stewart. And this is going to be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Stewart. He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. And he stopped at the 44. It's also a gain of 4. And now it's 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, and don't fumble the football.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 67 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Second and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Sanders on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This taken in at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Derek Brown in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I noticed you used the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
Stewart now, throwing on 3rd and long. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 32. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. They'll run on first down. Singleton. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Miami, they have indeed reached a perfect 16-0, but now still one game remains before they join the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to finish a regular season unbeaten. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.